the stony-hearted wanted God to do something, and God was ready to do something because there was a seed dropped. Here it is. Even with people with stony heart, God wants to do something. Amen. Because if he didn't, there wouldn't have been a seed dropped on a stony place. But what happened, the stony place couldn't absorb the seed. Ooh. Watch this, y'all. I feel it tonight, even in my weak body. What you got to understand is, if you can't absorb it, then don't look for nothing to change. Jesus. You can't want something, and when you get it, don't let it absorb into your system. I'm learning now, and I'm not speaking against churches, that people are into churches because of the emotional relationship. Watch this. Take out the drums, the keyboard, the guitar, the bass guitar, and all of and see, can they worship? Here's the trick of the enemy. If he can get you emotionally involved with earthly things, and when they're gone, your relationship is gone. Put somebody and ask them, how much time did you put in today? How much time did you put in? Now ask them this. When you do that, you're trying to steal time from God that you was on the clock and didn't work. Wow. Tell somebody you're a thief. You're a thief. No, I ain't no thief. I ain't no thief. I ain't no thief. Yes, you are. And you're a robber. Because you're trying to get God to pay you for the time you didn't work. So you're a thief and a robber. Ooh. Some of them fell in thorny places, which means a life on earth, but then we allowed the life on earth to smother out the seed. I got a thing I want to talk about that I'm going to try to get it together, and it's about the spirit of the python. Y'all can't even get excited about that. Look at somebody and ask them, where is your joy? Where is your joy? He allowed you to walk in here and breathe, and you can't thank him for it, but you want him to bless you. He allowed you to wake up this morning, and maybe you did, maybe you didn't say thank you. But you want him to bless your day. Oh, my God. You want him to bring you out, but you can't worship when you're still in the valley. That's right. Touch somebody and tell them, how good is your relationship? How good is your relationship? Emotional relationship is not going to cut it in the times we're living in, because we're living in the last days. Yes. Satan is breaking loose. And the saints of God is breaking and running. Tell somebody, look at somebody and tell them, it's good to be off. Right about now. It's good to be different right about now. It's good to have a different language right about now. It's good for people to call you what they used to call it. Huh? Holy rollers right about now. Yeah. It's good for them to look at you and see you don't wear all of the makeup like everybody else. Right about now. It's good for them to call you plain Jane. Right about, because there's going to be a lot of plain Jane that make it into the kingdom. Amen. I got a lot to do. I'm just starting out. So all I'm about to do tonight is give you the introduction and the subject. Who has God been faithful to in this place? Amen. Raise your hand. Hallelujah. Raise him, raise him, raise him, raise him. Yes. If he's been so faithful to you, why is it that you haven't been as faithful to him? I'm finna get some deep stuff. Deep stuff. Faithful him. What I'm looking at now is that people are going to church and don't know why they're going to church. That's the reason why they leave empty and want to blame the pastor that he ain't preaching. If I just said, the Lord said no weapon formed against you,
Okay.
in a normal voice, is enough. You should be able to rejoice for it.
That's right.
To understand no matter what come against you.
Amen.
But when I start to have to swallow the mic to entertain you, oh, if I come in here and say, he may not come when you want him, but he's right on time. You ought to reminisce the time that when you needed him, and even though he was late, he was still on time.
Amen.
Woo. Touch somebody and tell them you owe a lot of back debt.
Amen.
Watch how faithful he is. When you messed up and you know you messed up, he didn't disown you. He didn't count you out.
Come on here.
He didn't say you was unworthy.
Well.
I'm going to be guilty of this. Because we let this world affect our life. We're supposed to be in the world, but not of the world.
Okay.
But because of where we are, we are migrating to the world system.
Yes. Show right, Pastor.
Tell somebody we want to straddle. We want to get part of the world. Now, let me tell you something. It's really nothing wrong with it because God has developed us that we should enjoy where we are and enjoy the kingdom to come. So that means we should get part of both worlds, right? Right?
You have to be.
Because he says that if you work, you will receive. So that's getting part of this world. But then if you lay up your treasures in heaven, you're going to get a reward of the kingdom.
Okay.
But he's saying is, you must remember who's going to survive the last days.
Yes.
So you got to migrate to the strongest.
That's right.
I want to ask you, and I ain't even into my subject, how many of us, when we leave here, try to convey and convince somebody with a strong emotional relationship to come to Christ, or do we go home and start talking about the world system more than we talk about the kingdom that is coming? How many times this week have you spoke to somebody about coming to church? How many times this week have you passed out a flyer?
Yes.
How many times this week have you mentioned to somebody that God can answer all your issues? We got to be careful. And I'm guilty. I find myself at some time, Tasha, running to the world system to try to get out of a spiritual incident. Running to the world to figure out how to get this fixed when God told me to lay all my cares on him because he cared for you. But we're showing the world in a way that the God we serve is not capable of getting me out of what I'm in. So I have to turn to the world system. How many times had you laid on your face, including me, and I'm going to say we, until God changed something? Peoples are taking, no, not peoples. The saints of God is taking prayer out of the church. Not the world, the saints. Not the world. The peoples that said, if you pray, he'll answer.
Amen.
Not the world. But the people that say if you fast and pray, he'll work it out. Not the world. But the people said that he's coming back again. Not the world system. But the church system is removing kingdom stuff. And as we remove kingdom stuff, then the image of God is fading out. And we're becoming into the world system. We begin to look more like the world. Who is it that when you first met God, you was here every time? Now you can't make it. Oh my God. Who is it that when you first met him, they couldn't stop you from coming?